Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Flexin' Joe, and it is Wednesday, June 4th. I do not have a stream to share with you guys for today. Unfortunately, today was a very, very poor trading day for me. I also screwed up the video. I don't really have a whole lot to show you. What I can show you is, my 10-minute chart, which shows you all my trades for all my accounts and just shows you just really what I need to work on the most. Totally at times, I guess, like spiraled out of control. Let my emotions get to me. Let my frustrations get to me. I had a couple trades that were like just like total bullshit. Like, and I know what happens in the randomness of the market. So I just say that it's like total BS. But I know it can happen. Like where unfortunately I got stopped, and then not only did that trade go back to break even, then it went on to hit my target before I would have seen the stop, and I got stopped out by a couple ticks or a couple points. So really unfortunate and quite frustrating, to be honest. So here is that chart. This is what you're looking at. This is my 10-minute chart. And it's quite gross, right? Some of these trades, like in this part of the day here, these are evaluation trades as I try to recoup my losses and regain funded accounts. I also blew a few TPT, take profit trader evaluation accounts. Because in my infinite wisdom of thinking that I was going to do well on my funded accounts, I had them linked to my funded accounts. And then of course that's not what happened. I am once again, quite frustrated with my performance as a whole. Quite frustrated with myself and kind of the lapse in discipline and the way in which I allowed like that market, shenanigans, if you will, market effery, to mess with me. I also know that I perform the worst on range trading days. I went into today expecting a range trading day. And then I just didn't play, range trading plays. You know what I mean? I just didn't do what I should have done. Unfortunately. I will also say too that, like, again, we'll go back and like look at some charts now and just cover some things that I do have video of, because my pre-market prep video is fine. Round about like 9:30ish, before I even took my first trade, or right around the time I took my first trade. And this is no fault of hers. My wife came in and said goodbye to the dogs and goodbye to me, and like I shut the camera off. And then I pressed pause on the recording, and then there's a huge lapse, and there's no recording because I turned the camera back on, but I didn't unpause it. And of course, I didn't realize that till much later, which of course, like, kind of only made me madder, because now I don't have. I mean, I can use market replay, but now I don't actually have the video of what I was doing, and over the last few days, that's been very helpful to see what I've been doing and how I've been trading. Now, like, I'll just run you through like trades I knew I took and like why I took them, and then just like after that, it's just total BS. So after this long wick here, and seeing this long wick, and seeing how he broke the orb low and just instantly reclaimed it on this news candle, I thought when we dipped back down here that and we actually started to pop a little bit off VWAP, I thought that this was a good trade setup. I liked it. I liked the way it looked. And I took it. And the best thing I did about that trade was, of course, taking the stop. Then, which this is the long entry here, and then this is the stop. And then, this was a copier glitch here. So this is an open close on the trade. Like, I just had to tap close twice, and it like opens and closes the trade. So that's not a trade, okay? Anybody who's familiar with the copier and how the copier works will know that sometimes that happens, and that's exactly what goes on. And the next time it happens, like live, I will show what that is. Show that. This one here, I chased a short, right, which is like absolutely dumb. This is the 512 cloud, so you know I'm just super extended and far away, and I think I just realized like, hey, the overall sentiment, and that we're gonna break the pre-market low, right? So, but I didn't. I just took it and I got back to break even, and at that point. I even remember saying, I need to take like a little bit of a break. And so I take a little bit of a break. The following 6 minutes unfolds, right? So a little more than a 5-minute break, probably closer to 7 minutes with, you know, when I actually hit this order, right? And I see this, right? I see again the rejection of VWAP. I see that we're rejecting between the 9 and the 20 EMA, which is like right in here. And then I go short. You know, as this candle goes up, comes back down, I go short, right? Thinking that like, okay, well, we've done this move. And then, and obviously I get stopped, right? I'm not sure why it shows like 2 stops there, but I got stopped. And not only did I get stopped, but I allow it to be a bit of a bigger loss than I thought, because I thought, ah, shit, like I entered in here, like what if it does actually go up to VWAP, and that's like roughly where my stop would have been. So it wasn't the best. Then, like, again, in my infinite wisdom, now seeing like, oh, hey, I flip-flopped, and I just didn't give it enough time to like actually set up. And you know what I'll do is I'm just going to change this one to the 10-minute chart, and then we'll be able to like flip-flop back and forth. And I can just illustrate a little bit more. So the 10-minute doesn't flip until 10:30, right? So the 10-minute doesn't officially flip until over here. So I have 10-minute candle by candle is short. I didn't have enough confirmation to go long, so I shouldn't have gone long. And you know, that's that. I go long, I get stopped. You know, ultimately, this more than hits my target, right? So sucks because I waited as this candle was coming down. But I didn't wait for the candle to come back up. Just as it was coming down, I took it. And I thought that, like, because what happened is it came down. Yo, this is creepy as hell. A TV just turned on upstairs. There's no one else home. What the fuck? Okay. I'm totally leaving that in the recording because I have no idea how, but my TV with the Amazon Fire Stick upstairs just turned on. And there is not a device nearby that could have accidentally got triggered. I'm not talking that loud. Whoa. Okay. You know what's crazy too is the last movie I watched on that device, you know what it is? It's Constantine with Keanu Reeves. And my wife was like, this is a stupid movie. Demons and ghosts and all that stuff. That's stupid. That's not real. Wait till I fucking tell her about this. Anyways. Where was I? You know, I get this one, I get stopped, right? I guess I took another long here, realized I was wrong. This is 22. Would have got stopped here because this is 20 points. It proceeds to basically work. I decide to flip short. Clearly a dumb move, thinking lower high. I don't know. CBC was still short on the 10, right? We get this surge candle, CBC's, and also CBC had flipped back short on the 2. So I was like, okay, 10 minutes short, 2 minutes short. Pardon me. And then, of course, like, I get slammed. Fine. Not gonna happen. Just fine. And then I just enter into, like, full blown, like, debauchery. I go long here. It pops up. I'm targeting the gap fill. You see, like on the news, we had this gap. I'm targeting the gap fill. We go like almost all the way in through it. We come back down. I'm like, no, I need to be consistent. And at that point, when we are, because the gap fill would have been right here at 54. So when we're, only 3 points away, I can't let this trade go red. And what happens? The market says, maybe you should, Joe, rethink your rule here because that's not working. It hasn't. I mean, we've seen over the last few days like how it's not really worked that well. And I get stopped. And of course, I get pissed. I see this candle comes down. I ignore the 2-minute CPC flipped bearish. I think, okay, we're right by the under the, it popped off VWAP. I get stopped. I try it again because what happens is it goes down, look, and then it stops me and it pops back up. And I'm like, I literally said out loud, not that you can hear me on the stream or even see this part. I said, let's try it again. Obviously, the buyers are defending. I get stopped again. So, and then it's just a mess, right? It's a mess. I'm lucky I didn't blow the other 9 accounts. Somehow one account got like jacked up with the copier, and then I was only on that account, and I was like trying to get that account back to be on the positive like the other ones, and it didn't work, right? So really quickly, I'm just going to show you guys the rhythmic screen. You guys can see that I'm not BSing. These were new accounts. Oh shit, I can't. Hold on, let me take a screenshot of it because I realized it's got my fucking name across the top of it. My full name and my full Apex number, so I don't want people having all that shit. But here, at least you'll see that the timestamp. So I don't think there's any incriminating things here. These are my accounts. This is where I'm at. I'm also reasonably confident. Bro, chill on the news desk. Chill. Of course, I got eaten alive yesterday by mosquitoes mowing the lawn, and so now I got a bunch of itchy bug bites on my leg. I'm pretty certain that Apex is going to deny the payouts on those 9 accounts that are still alive. They're probably going to say there's some improper risk management or some bullshit, which is fine because I traded like a buffoon. It's fine. I mean, I'm 3 days in, 5 more days on these. I'll request whatever the balance is available to request, even if it's, the minimum. And then if they deny it, that's fine. I'll be trying to set myself up for the next time anyways. And then the other 11, I'll just try to do the best I can. I did pass 11 more evals though. That was probably my best trading of the day. And to be honest, like I those TPT accounts that I blew, I put $1,500 on those. That was probably some of the best trading today too. And I made some money on my cash account. Go figure. After all this, not before. Well, yeah, I don't even know, guys. I'm just, I guess, posting it to be transparent, and I'll look back on it and maybe I'll laugh. It's like funny is there was one trade. I'm gonna X out of this. There was one trade, and I don't remember where it is or what it was or whatever, and I guess that point is probably irrelevant. But there was one trade that I was just like, this doesn't look good. I think this is going to go against me. I don't think this is a good idea. And the dog literally got up and he like made this like sound. He was like, and just like, and I hear him like shake his head and hear his ears flap or whatever. And I was just looking at him and I was like, oh, you don't think it's a good idea either? And he just stood there and looked at me and I got stopped. And I was just like, yo, dude, if you got any more solid advice back there, please, please, buddy, I'm all ears. Look at me, he's dead. He's exhausted from today. I'm gonna go outside. I think I'm gonna go finish mowing my lawn. I'm gonna get some fresh air. I'm gonna come back later and spend some time reflecting on this. I think the number one thing that I'm going to do is make sure, Mr. News Guy, pipe down. I'm gonna just I'm gonna have to just make sure I take a break after every trade. And I need to make sure I'm coming through with a more succinct list of identifying the market and just the market structure. I just, oh man, I just suck and chop, and I need to let some things unfold. And I don't even know. Like in pre-market, in my pre-market prep, and I'm just gonna post that video as like pre-market prep, and I'll just like cut it off. But so I'll post 2 videos for today. Like in pre-market, I identified a zone right here on NQ, and I was just like, oh, this is a zone of interest, right? And we immediately reclaimed it. And then look how well the longs played off of it, like right off of basically off of the previous day's close. I identified this zone based off of, you know, the bearish golden zone of like this move, right? And then the bearish golden zone of this move, like they overlapped. So I was like, hey, if we get this push out of it, you know, then you know, we'll know that the bears are in trouble and the bulls are going to take over. And then look what happened, right? And it comes back down, it ranges, it comes right back down, and it pushes off from like basically the exact same place. Freaking stupid, right? And then like I know here on VIX, right? Like once we, you know, see we made like this this low here, right? And then we double bottomed, right? We double bottomed like right over here, and we started pushing back up. But then once we see where this wick is and you see where the cursor is, once we just broke this pivot and ultimately closed down below, like I knew that bottom was in. At one point in time, my dumbass tried to take a short over here. Like, oh yeah. And I just watched the 10-minute candle like do and just kept coming up, and then it knifed back down. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, it's a short. And then yeah, it did go lower, and then all the way, you see where we are, right? It's just I realize I'm rambling. I'm sorry, guys. This is 17 minutes of BS, but it's a rough day. I just wanted to be transparent. And I think that if I continue to be like a trader with integrity and just being honest, I've been honest the whole time, right? Just continue to do that. I think that at least it's me staying true to myself. I have a lot of reflecting to do. I have a book coming in on impulsivity. Maybe it will arrive soon. It's like controlling impulsiveness, which I think will help. I shouldn't have blown those accounts today. The one that got jacked up on the copier. Okay, collateral damage. Which sucks too, because it got jacked up on the copier with the accounts that are green, for the record. For the record, right? Because I was trading them in groups of 10. I know somebody will probably say maybe we shouldn't trade them group of 10, maybe we shouldn't do the copier, maybe I should just, I don't know. Part of me also thinks I should, like when I get these new accounts, I should take two minis. And I know it's probably crazy. You're like, Joe, what do you mean you should size up? And it's just like, I think I should take 2 minis. And if the trade is a winner, I continue with 2 minis. And I target still 15 points. It's a 1-to-1. And if if the trade is a loser, then go to 1 mini. And then if that trade's a loser, go to 5 micros. And then just like kind of keep halving it and kind of like reverse martingale it. Because I'm dwindling down on trailing drawdown. It's kind of my thought process. I don't know. I'm still thinking that out. You guys can let me know what you think, but I just think that like going with two minis, right? Like continuing to try to strive to take solid setups and going with two minis, you know, kind of it does in a way expedite the process of helping me get out of trailing drawdown even sooner. And then from that point on, as long as I am still out of trailing drawdown, I would stay with two minis. And if I dip into that trailing drawdown at all, I have to go down to one mini, right? So like, say the account got to like 3,600, you know, I lose a trade, I'm fine. I lose another trade, now I'm at 2,400. I need to only take one mini until I win the next two trades and get myself back to where I was, you know, something like that. I know that my trading is better than this today. I think I just let myself get chopped up, and I frequently have this bullshit happen. And I know it now. Like I feel as if just like doing this and going through this process, it is helping me to really understand like where my Achilles heel is in trading. And my Achilles heel in trading is like, because I trade NQ, is like, sorry, this is probably hard to see. I got like a lot of colors going on. So let's delete this zone. I don't really need this. Let's go to a clear drawing set. Actually, yeah, let's go to a clear drawing set. This is the same zone that I drew. Go figure. I drew it on the clear one, right? Look how fucking perfect that is. Literally drew this in the... and honestly, let's just like take out all the studies. So let's just remove all studies for a second. And my Achilles heel is this, right? Like in trading, you know, I have here's the orb high, right? And then here's my orb low. And realistically, this was very obvious, an orb low break and reclaim and then retest, right? Like look how obvious this looks. But my problem is this sort of bullshit in here in the middle of the range, right? And if I drew a fib from here, you know, I was like doing everything under the sun. Like, is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? And when I'm doing the, is it this? Is it that? It's, Joe, it's neither. It's put your hands firmly under your butt, sit on them and be like, I can't take a trade right now. And then, you know, not losing money is making money, right? Because something better would have surely come up, right? Something better surely did come up. If I, again, I'm going to just go back to, you know, putting the studies on. And we'll just start. I'm going to hide the auto levels. Honestly, I'm even going to hide the EMAs. Right? I don't need this. We'll leave the 20 EMA on in VWAP, right? And like, okay. You know, like what is there really here? Not a whole lot to go off of here, right? Like, this was me predicting price, hoping this zone would hold, you know, and seeing the bodies here just like kind of line up here on the orb low, but didn't mean shit. Right? The first thing we did was come down. When we came down, we pushed back up. Yeah, like buying in the body is fine. Maybe this time, it's not ideal for me. And I just have to recognize when my ideal scenarios are presenting themselves and when they're not. So 23 minutes of rambling. Kind of, I'm making no justifications or excuses for my behavior. I am the one clicking the buttons, and I am the one who needs to exhibit more self-control and just stick to a program. We'll get some fresh air. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your support. And for everybody else, you know, like, thank you for the hate if you got it. I don't give a shit. I was thinking about this, and it's like, Patrick William blew like, he said he blew like 10,000 accounts, some shit. I don't know if he really blew that. But if he did, look at him now. Right? Look at him now. He's the king of YouTube trading. Nobody on YouTube has a bigger audience. He's making lots of money. You know, he's doing the thing. So I'm by no means saying I'm him, and I am by no means saying I'm better than him or will be better than him. I am just saying he is another example of, if he can do it, I can do it, right? So like I've seen countless people doing it. He is doing it live every day. If he can do it, I can do it. Maple does it. Ripster does it, right? These guys all trade well. If they can do it, I can do it. Yeah, we'll go into that more another time. If they can do it, I can do it. But for now, I blew a lot of accounts. I lost a lot of money today. I got some accounts that are still alive and still pretty green. At their greenest day yet. And this isn't over.